So how do we handle a conversation from our buyer if all of a sudden we get the call, my property didn't appraise? Well, let's pretend that your lender calls up your buyer and says, well, hey, that 123 Main Street property that we're under contract for, the appraiser just came back, it's $380,000, you were under contract for $400,000. That buyer calls up you and says, hey, listen, David, I've got a problem here. Why did this under appraise? Your indication of market value and your CMA was higher. Well, let me walk you through this process. You know, traditionally, as brokers view market value, it's a little bit different than the way that appraisers view market value. You see, appraisers are generally limited to looking at the proof, the burden of proof, which happens in the past, whereas brokers are always looking at what happens in the future. So let me give you this disparity. As a broker goes out to a property, the broker sees what the property is and looks at their condition, location, appeal, and all the other features, looks and sees what sales occurred in the past, but then also considers the listings that are on the market, talks to other brokers in the community, and likely has buyers that are in the community. Whether the market is flat, declining, or increasing, they're generally assuming, I think that the property is going to sell a little bit higher or wherever that is. Well, when an appraiser goes out to view a property, although they might consider many of those things that the broker did, their burden of proof relies on comparable sales which occur in the past. Those are in the past from the effective date of appraisal. So if your contract is on the 1st and the appraisal goes out on the 5th, they're always looking at sales that happened in the past. Now those sales might not happen in the week before or 2 weeks before, they may actually happen in months before. I want you to watch my video on time adjustments so that you know how you can apply adjustments to the disparity of time that passes. But many appraisers might not even use time adjustments. And so the analogy that you want to have with your buyers is this. Hey, when we go out and we look at market value, pretend that we're in our car. I'm in the driver's seat guiding you through the process, and you're in the passenger seat and we're going along for our ride. As we look out the window, we are looking at upcoming listings that come to the market and we go and see them. When they go under contract, they might be right next to us, and we look left and right out of both of our windows and we can see the ones that are under contract in the current market. But appraisers are looking at things that have closed. Those are in the past. And for that, we're looking in the rear view mirror, and we have to look over our shoulder and we're looking at things that sold long ago, whether, a week ago, long ago, or even 4 months, 5 months, 6 months ago. That could be long ago in a market. And so what that means is that appraiser might not be considering all of the time that passed. Now, theoretically, should they be? Yes, but as brokers, we know that that data kind of updates itself every 90 days, if not 6 months. And so an appraiser might not have enough data to call it an increasing market or a declining market, and so they might not make those time adjustments. All of this to say, brokers look out the windshield in order to determine value as to where the market is moving, while appraisers look out the rear view mirror in order to see the comparables that have sold and determine what the market value is. It's almost like looking at a hill if you were in an increasing market. And as you go up the hill, you're seeing the value continue to increase as you're looking at these new listings that come to the market. But the comparables that the appraisers see are all in the past. So as you're driving up, if the car was my watch, in front of it, they're always seeing the value increasing. Well, the appraiser sees the value increasing, but it's a little further back. And so that may include the disparity in between your value and the appraiser's value. This may be one strong indication as to why the appraisal comes in slightly different, where maybe the broker was looking at some sales that were currently under contract or new active listings, and the buyer understands the market moving there, but the appraiser is looking at what the lender needs, which is sales that happened in the past. You are one step closer to confidence and expertise inside of the real estate appraisal world. I don't know if you've been selling real estate for 1 minute or you've been selling it for over a decade. Getting better at valuation is critical to the success of a real estate agent. And here's why. Your buyers are constantly looking at you. Where is this property going to sell? And you need to speak with confidence about it. Your sellers are asking, I don't want to undersell. I want to make sure that I sell at the top dollar. Where do you go from here? How do you truly do that? If you are in the process right now, and maybe this is you, where you're sitting at dining room tables with maybe a CMA toolkit and you're trying to flip through pages as to show properties and what they're worth, guys, you're doing it all wrong. I'm sure you've probably had success, but you could have far more success if you truly know the appraisal process, how to do it, and how to speak with confidence to your clients so that you can say, I know where this property is going to sell. If you're on the buy side, you won't make a mistake. And I know where this property is going to sell if you're on the sell side, and let me get the most amount of money for you. If you're on the fence, defense of purchasing this course, I want you to ask yourself, has it ever been a better time to invest in yourself in a more tumultuous market than right now? I'd love to see it inside the course.